Des from Aro-Tarot here, and if you could tell, my hair's not really that wet anymore, but pre-recording this just one day early. I just recorded the day 12 and 13, and right now I'm gonna do 14 and 15, since, I mean, both of them aren't really long. 16's not long either. I'll do 16, so it'll be 14, 15, and 16, because none of them are really long ones. 17 has the potential to be kind of long. It depends on if I want to speed up the video or not, or if I want to show the whole process of me drawing. But yeah, I have schoolwork to do tomorrow, which is the day that yeah, for this video. And I don't have much, but I don't like either of these classes, so. And it just started. It's, I think, the last 2 credits not related to my degree that I need to get the degree, and then I could really start doing into more of the Pacific game stuff. But so when there's a class I don't really like, especially if my sleep's a little bit off, it seems to have gotten better. If I go to bed on time today, it'll be okay. But usually, you know, I don't want to do them, so it's always best to pre-record something when you've got work that you don't want to do. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up about school. At least I don't have much to do. Yay, online college. But this is day 14, 15, and 16 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And I'll start with 14. And it's share your favorite divination tool aside from tarot. And that would be oracle cards. But, you know, we've already had top 5 oracle decks, and oracle decks you want to work more with. So I decided to not include oracle decks and have, like, a different divination tool. And the one that I usually end up going to, it's in my year ahead spread. I've used it for a monthly one before. When I think I actually did that for December. I used it, maybe. Can't remember. Maybe. Oh, I was planning to. I don't think I ended up doing it. But yeah, like, these are just really simple. For me, I use it for very broad stuff. And that's these runes I have. But they're not like the typical runes you usually see, which are like the Norse ones. Can't remember the specific name of it. I have a set of those, although there's like 3 of like the runes that look different than all the ones I've seen. And all of them seem to still be like the one that you usually see, but those 3 look like really different. I was able to figure out what they were supposed to be, but because of that and me having to kind of figure it out again because I can't remember, I don't think I wrote it down. I don't use those. I haven't learned them. These ones are a lot more simple, and I got them on Etsy by, oops, I dropped them. It's in here. It's, the Hellenic Handmaiden. And that's right, Hellenic, as in, you know, Greek. And these are Greek alphabet runes. And they are so cool. Like, I saw runes, Greek, divination. I was like, ooh, yeah, I want them. So I got them. So each of the runes is a different letter. And it even has the pronunciations for the levels. And actually, like, it's even got these cute, like, things. And, like, I was able to connect some of them, so, like, it kind of makes a picture if you're able to figure out how they all go together. And, you know, they're handmade. And just really cool. And it comes with this cute little book, which has got, like, you know, how you use it for daily fortune, like, stones or totems, Cephos, I guess. I don't know how, I cannot pronounce stuff in Greek, you know. were thought to be chosen at random by shaking them in a bowl or a drum till one fell out, you know. It's that kind of thing. You know, like love and the laser engravings what made it, and then, you know, it's got her website. She also has an Etsy store. That's where I got it on. If I remember to, because I'm not going to upload this now. I'm going to encode it, though. But if I remember when I'm uploading this, I'll link it. I just got to remember. But, you know, it's got, oh, it doesn't have pronunciations. I kept thinking it had pronunciations. It has, you know, the letter with, like, the actual name of the letter. Then you get a line, and then, you know, just, like, something else. Like, I'll just pull one randomly. For instance, if you pull this one, which is iota, I don't know how, with my American English speaking stuff, it looks like iota, but I do not know if that's actually how you're supposed to pronounce it. It has in quotes, "There is sweat, it excels more than everything." And then, out of quotes, it says, "Even if you have lost everything, you still have your work. Work hard for the best chance of success." So it's just, you know, like a little quote and then like a little message. So if you're doing like a broad kind of spectrum thing, or even just a daily message, it's really cool. And I really like them. I haven't used them too much. Maybe I'll use them more. It's just because I like the whole more broad spectrum kind of thing. I really only can use them with, you know, spreads, and usually when I go spreads, the extra more broad thing is oracle cards, but yeah, I think those are cool. I also want to get more into pendulum use. I have a pendulum. It's this beautiful pendulum I actually got from Ethony's Etsy store, but I haven't really used it much. But yeah, maybe I'll use it a bit more this year. So day 15, which is tomorrow's, well, tomorrow when this gets uploaded, is do you have a deck for personal use only? Why and why not? And I don't have a deck for personal use only per se, but I do have a deck that I would only do for online readings, and that's just because when I do ones like with family and stuff in person, I don't have any issues with them touching the cards. But I do have a deck that I don't want the cards getting touched, and that's the Dragon Age Inquisition Tarot, and I don't want them getting touched because of the price, you know, of the deck. And if I got another deck that cost so much, or was worth so much, like Justice League, I have a second copy, and like, it goes for, like, I don't know how much, like, when I got a second copy, I think it was, like, $80. And it hadn't even been out of print for too long. But, you know, like, this version of it, I've edged, I've, like, used and stuff, so I don't mind. But this one, no. So it's not a personal deck. It would be, like, an online-only deck. Kind of personal. Like, I just don't really mind if I read with it for someone online, because then I'm shuffling the cards. So, you know, and you could just always cleanse it with some incense or something. Like, I don't mind that. It's just I don't want anyone touching it. And if I got another deck that, like, if I got a deck that was worth, like, $100 or something, like, this is, I probably wouldn't let anyone touch that deck either. Because, like, this isn't money. No. So it would be like an online reading only deck. So I don't really have a personal deck, but this one's about as close to a personal deck as I'll probably get. And the reason why I don't really have a personal deck is because, I don't know, like, even when I get a deck, like, I'm completely fine if people are, like, touching the deck, because, like, I know, like, I think even my dad's girlfriend assistant, like, she didn't want to touch my crystals. And I was like, go ahead, you know, touch him. Because when it comes to, and she's kind of, I think, a little bit when it comes to tarot decks, too. And the reason I don't care if someone's, like, touching my tarot decks, my tarot cards, and it's, like, not for a reading, is because I'm, like, showing them it, and they're looking through it. And to me, it's almost like I'm literally, like, oh my god, look at, like, this deck that I had. Aren't these so beautiful. Like, I love them. Like, look at them. Like, you know, and they'll be like, oh, you know, like, these are so cool, you know. It's getting praise for the deck. So, like, literally, it's making them feel better. Like, if they were, like, saying, like, this card's ugly, like, it's like, no, get your hands off that deck. Like, it's mine. Apologize. You know, like, accidentally drops it. I'm sorry, deck. So, yeah, I don't really mind it when people touch it. And, like, then there's, like, some people, like, personal decks, because more of, like, you know, it's just a personal deck. I haven't really gotten a deck that I feel like I wouldn't be able to read for someone else with. I mean, there's some I feel like I want to read more for myself, maybe, but I don't really mind it if someone asks me to use a deck, especially if, like, the way I have it set up, like, when I'm asked to do a reading, it hasn't happened online, but, like, reading, like, with my brother or something, I always go, like, what deck do you want me to read with? Unless I'm got a new deck and I want to use that one, you know? Because, like, I don't know, if you're feeling like a deck should be used, then, who am I to question that feeling that you're getting? Like, maybe, like, you are supposed to get the messages from that deck, you know? And I just kind of have all my decks, except for my Christmas ones, I still have not put them up, because I was nicknaming them. I have a nickname, though, I just haven't put it up yet, because it's a lot of decks. But, you know, I just have them listed as my deck collection. It's like if you look through and you're like, oh, this one. And it's even one that I don't read often with. It's like, who am I to question that? But yeah, I haven't really gotten any that I feel like I shouldn't read for anyone else with that deck. I don't really have any decks that feel too personal. Like, even like, literally like, my favorite deck. My first deck, you know, the Justice League Tarot. I freaking love this deck. But, like, I read for other people with it. I don't have an issue, you know? Even though it's, like, my deck, you know? Because it's not a personal deck. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll end up getting a deck like that. I like showing them off, you know? I like being like, oh, look at this. Look how beautiful it is, you know? Like, when I get it, a lot of times, if I get a deck, and then I usually like to go over and see my Nana and Papa, the ones that don't live next door, at least once a week, and I'll be like, look, Nana, look at this deck I got. And, you know, I'll show her and I'll have her look through it. Like, she doesn't really have an interest in it, but, you know, she likes spending time with me. And I like showing off my deck. So, you know, like, the deck's literally getting compliments. They're getting attention. So, yeah. I think that's all I can really say about that. Then for day 16 is, do you read reversals? Why not? And I do not read reversals. I was told, which this deals with the tarot miss. What day is the tarot miss? Day 20. Day 20 is the tarot miss one. And I know that I'll talk about reversals in that one. So I'll try keeping it short. I don't read reversals. And I don't feel like I need to read reversals. Like, there's already 70 different cards. And there's so many different positions you can do. I don't know, like, I just really feel like I don't really need to. Instead, it's more of, like, the idea of that there's a light and a shadow of the cards. It's just not that the reversals is what says it. It's more of the position of the card. And sometimes even, like, just the intuition, and if you're pulling from certain parts of the image instead of other parts of the image, which, sometimes that happens. Or even if you don't get a certain pull from a card, but you get it from another. You know, like, yeah, so, like, the shadow, for me, isn't necessarily even a negative thing. It's more of those underlining meanings that I just don't think about, which usually is the negative ones. But I consider to think of it more as the underlining meanings that I usually don't think of. Like, literally the shadow. It's a part of it, but I don't think about it as much. Just like I don't usually think of, unless I'm drawing, I don't usually think about people's shadows, you know. But sometimes you notice it, like when you're drawing. So yeah, I prefer to go with that kind of thing. instead of reversals. Like, I was gonna learn reversals, but it just feels like it's too much. And then especially after, like, learning, like, 78 cards, and then, you know, still feeling like you need to, like, learn, especially, like, the court cards, and just even, like, maybe even learning numerology for, like, Tarot de Marseille, you know, I was going to, and it was, like, intimidating, and then it's just, I was reading just fine, so I just didn't. And then, of course, I ended up going more with the whole light and shadow thing, and that just ended up kind of being my reversals in a way. Although usually it's more of the positions, like, certain positions, like, something you need to avoid, and the sun comes up, you know, like, yeah. You can still look at it differently. Instead of, you need to avoid happy, happy, joy, joy kind of stuff. No, like, you know, like, blah, 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 you know. But yeah, so, yeah, I don't, and I just don't feel like I need to. So, I don't. I could say a bit more, but I'm just going to leave that for, day 20? Yeah, day 20. So, yeah, that was day 14, 15, and 16 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And, yeah, so I'm Des from Aro-Tarot, and I'm logging off.